All right, hey everybody, how's it going? This is my first live stream, and I say that with a little bit of an asterisk because I actually tried this a few days ago and I messed up. I had the orientation of the screen wrong, and in fact I'm making sure right now that I'm not making the same mistake. I think I'm okay. But I know that it is a Wednesday afternoon, so it's probably very unlikely that there's a lot of people sitting around that want to jump on a live stream. But I've got lots of stuff that I've been working on lately, and I kind of feel like doing this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I just haven't really gotten around to it. Usually I've just got too much stuff going on and kind of a crazy house, too many people, too many kids running around to do a live stream. So I'm not very used to like the functionality of this, so I can't even figure out exactly how to see. It looks like somebody just got on, which is awesome. So I'm sorry if I'm just getting used to everything, but it's kind of a learning curve. The entire YouTube experience is a learning curve, so for anybody who's ever done it. Let's see if I can see the live chat. So anyway, I'll figure that out here in a second. Let me just start talking, show you what's going on. So I just finished resealing this tank. I showed this in a video recently, and sorry, I'm still playing with this. And unfortunately, let's just say mistakes were made. I filled it up and it was doing fine, and I was debating whether or not I wanted to reseal the tank because it was very old. And oh cool, I can't see the chat, that's awesome. So I was deciding whether or not I wanted to reseal the tank, and I decided not to reseal the tank. And so we're just gonna fill this thing up. You know, I was thinking that I'm not planning on keeping this thing full for forever. I just have changes. I tend to not keep anything full for forever. I tend to, hey, what's up, Jeff? Hey, how you doing? But I tend to just change things around so often that I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fill this thing up and see how it goes. And I did, and it was fine. So I'm like, well, let's not reseal it. Well, let's just say when I went to take it from my porch down to the basement, like I said, mistakes were made, and it was dropped. And unfortunately, the bottom frame was cracked. And the bottom frame, anybody who knows anything about fish tanks knows that the bottom frame is not the most integral to the structure of it. This top frame's pretty old too, but it's still in pretty decent shape. So I decided to keep that. But anyway, I was just going to take the bottom frame off, but then as I was doing that, the edges down there are just extremely sharp. So long story short, there's a new frame that I just got in the mail. There's the old frame that's all cracked up and broken. And I just decided, since I'm just replacing the frame anyway, I might as well just reseal it. So I resealed the tank. I thought about doing a video on that, but honestly, there's about 100 videos out there about resealing tanks, and considering this is only the second tank I've ever resealed, I'm not exactly an expert on it, so why would I do a video on that? So it didn't seem interesting enough. But it's been sitting for quite a few days full, and everything looks good. There isn't a single leak, so it's great. I was a little nervous because I just literally have it resting on these boards underneath it. It's just sitting on the bottom pane of glass. But you know, that's what the rimless tanks do anyway. So as long as there's nothing down there that's gonna press into the glass and crack it, I think it should be good. So it's been sitting like this for days, so it should be good. It's draining right now. The water's coming out of it, and once that's out of there, I'm gonna put the bottom frame on there, and then we're gonna take it down to the basement. So, and this is my front porch. These are my rice fish ponds. You're not gonna be able to see much more than duckweed right now. So just duckweed, but there are rice fish in there, trust me. This is the paint from where I was painting the tank. And then, yeah, resealing is a really hard job. Jeff, it's a pain in the butt. I'm sure you know that, but it took a long time. It was probably about like 6 hours total of work to get that done. This is my other pond that I have, and it's just got a little feeder fish that my kids won at a fair years ago, and then some more rice fish in there. Needs a little bit more water put in there. But so, yeah, that's what's going on with my front porch, but I'm excited for this to drain, and and to get it downstairs and to get things moving. Let me take a walk here. You can always tell who's a fish keeper when you pull up to their house, because the lawn maintenance is in serious need. So now, to be honest, like, I live in a forest, so I don't really have much of a lawn. And as you can see, the front of my yard here, there's not really a yard, it's just a massive hill. So I don't really do a great job of taking care of my yard, but that's okay. I'm just playing with all my fish tanks. This is a piece of driftwood. We had a storm not too long ago, and there's a larger river nearby that I saw all of this wood washed up on the river, all this old gnarly wood that had been just probably sunk in the river for forever. So I grabbed this piece, and this is going to be part of everything that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to stick that probably in my rainbow tank. Got a few other pieces of wood. I don't know how long it's going to take to waterlog that thing. The last time I did my live stream, I accidentally showed all my license plates too, which was the other reason why I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't keep that. I walked past my bike and I Googled about 10 times. I was like, oops, I said Google and it pulled up Google. Stop it. I'm not talking to you, Google. I just did it again. I Googled whether or not you could show your license plate on the internet. It seemed like it was recommended against, so I'm gonna try not to do it again. So let's just go around here. So I got to build some stands, and the garage is an absolute disaster as well, but there's all the wood to build the stands. And then here's one of the 125s, and there's another 125. That one back there is painted. So it's ready to go, and I'm ready to just start. Yeah. I'm ready to just start moving some stuff down to the basement and getting things going. So that's really exciting. Lots of big changes coming there. I'm gonna head around here. I'm gonna flip this around. I almost tripped on my piece of wood that I just showed you. But head downstairs and show you kind of where I'm putting all this. And then I got a couple other little cool surprises to show you that. Well, let's head there first. Let me tell you guys a fun fact. So apparently in the state of California, I know everybody does what California does. In order to apply the protection laws, they classified bees as fish in California, which I just thought was hilarious. I've mentioned a few times on the channel that I am a beekeeper as well as a fish keeper, and it's nice to know that in the state of California, I'm just a fish keeper. I have my flying fish and my fish. So I just finished honey harvest. This has kind of slowed down my my building of all that other stuff you just saw. So these 5 buckets here are all full of honey. Not full. Actually, this one's not quite full. This was actually kind of the worst year that I've ever had, which I know that looks like a lot of honey, but most of the time I get maybe about 4 times that. These are the boxes back here. These are called supers. This is where the wax comes out of, or not the wax, the honey comes out. If I can get one out here. So that's already extracted. So I just finished all of this for my flying fish that produce honey for me. This was a lot of work, but not as much work as it usually is. Although last year, none of this stuff was here. I didn't have a pond in the basement, so I had a little bit more room. But that's super fun. So yeah, for those of you who didn't know, bees are apparently fish, at least in the crazy state of California. Sorry if you're from California. But anyway, so that was a fun process. I'm excited to have that finished. This is the what I use for my uncapping, which is, I actually have I made a whole video on beekeeping. If anybody feels, or on not on beekeeping, on my harvest. I actually have not really another channel. I have a personal channel that I put videos up about just stuff with my family, and I put a whole video with the beekeeping on there. I can put that in the link to that in the description once I get done, but kind of show you the whole process. But super fun. So yeah, the good thing about fish is that they don't sting. Yeah, they are. Fish don't sting, except for maybe the corridors if you grab them wrong, and maybe the catfish. So the next thing up I got to do is I got to clean out this tank. This is kind of my whole grow out quarantine system back here. So there's some fish up here that I've got growing out, some electric blue acaras and some Buenos Aires tetras. The Buenos Aires tetras I want to put in a tank with a starry night cichlid that has a tendency to just eat anything that can even get close to fitting in its mouth. So I got to get those guys nice and big. I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but we'll see. But yeah, these other 2 tanks are going to be part of moving fish around from my other tanks to be able to get these other big tanks down here. That bottom tank has gone through about 10 different quarantine periods, so it's kind of a mess right now. But over here I've got, these are some Ivanacara bimaculatas, which are a pretty awesome and very rare fish. I haven't decided, there's 13 of them. I don't know how many pairs, but I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna do with them. They fetch a very good price. I think they'll end up down there in that 40 to grow out a little bit more. There's a lot of places online you see them selling for like $100 a pair, so that would be nice to be able to pay for all this. Everybody knows fish keeping is super cheap, but we'll see. I got some pistogramma babies growing out in the middle, cockatoides, orange flash, and then a lot of these are rainbows that are going to be going into the tank that I'm setting up, which I will show you right now where that's all going. It was 5-star betas. That's awesome. Yeah, send me an email. There's an email on my page. And shoot me an email with some details. I'd love to. That would be kind of cool. I don't know where he is. I'm in Southwest Virginia. I'm always interested to hear if there's anybody close by, because I'd love to meet up with people. That'd be kind of awesome. Just film their fish rooms, or yeah. So this is where a lot of that stuff's going to go. So that tank that's resealed is going to go down on the ground, and one of the other 6 foot tanks is going to go up here above Massachusetts. That's cool. Kind of far away, but we could try something. Maybe do a live stream together. So these tanks are all going to go away. The bottom, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. This one on the bottom is some more rainbow fish. These are my super rare rainbow fish that I made a video about. Those are probably going to go in the back where I just showed you. I grabbed some cockatoides babies that went in here, and there's only 2 of them in there, so I got to figure out what to do with those when I move this. And up here I had some white cloud minnows. They're probably not going to show. Oh, you can actually see them there. I had some white cloud minnows and some zebra danios in here, and I just out of curiosity, when I moved them out of this tank, I left it for a week just to see if there were any eggs scattered in the tank, and there's probably about 20 little babies in there. So that's another one that I got to get rid of, this whole rack, but I got a bunch of stuff in here, so I got to figure out where to put it all. So yeah, that's going to be a fun process, a lot of work, but I think I'm getting pretty darn close. I think I have everything I need to be able to do that. The other 6 foot tank, and I didn't clean up for any of this, so this is all what everything looks like all the time. So the other 6 foot tank is going to go right here, and it's going to hang over that countertop right there. So I'm going to have to move those plants. The peacocks are going to go in the top tank that I just showed you behind me, and I'm going to probably get some more peacocks. Yeah, this is my first egg scatter that I've ever bred too, but I did it because I had previously had them in a different tank, and I noticed actually where these cockatoides are. I put these cockatoides babies in here, and there were some egg scatters in here, and I noticed within a few days that there were a bunch of fry showing up, except the cockatoides babies ate them all. So then the next time I moved them, I was like, hey, why not just see if that works? And it did, so it wasn't that hard. But I don't know. I'm not big into breeding right now. I'm mostly working on the display tanks, but what I really want to do one day is just pick one awesome fish to really focus on and breed a lot of. It might be the bimaculatas, which are now in here. This is like my 3rd attempt to get them to do it naturally. They're super skittish fish though. I mean, every time you move them, you don't see them for like a month, and then they slowly start to come out and get comfortable. But maybe one day I'll just see a bunch of fry in there. But this is kind of close to what they're bunch of dragon bloods. Yeah, well, that's what's going down here. So yeah, maybe. But yeah, so hopefully I can get them to do it more naturally this time. So this will become a 6 foot tank. I think this guy, which is a new, yeah, Ivanacara, yep, that's it. This guy is a parrot cichlid. Sorry, I'm responding to the comments. So anybody who comes back to talking to Jeff and I are having conversations. So you guys welcome. But this guy I think is going to centerpiece the next 6-foot tank that's right here. This was a local person who wanted to give this true parrot cichlid up, and he is absolutely stunning. And I have some fish that I'm looking for. I really want to put some. I want to get some Cupid cichlids, but they're not very easy to find. The only person that I've found that has them, one of them is a place that has horrible reviews that I'm not even going to take a chance on. And the other one, they have them listed as Cupid cichlids, and in parentheses, the scientific name is Apistogramma cockatoides. I'm like, well, those are two very different things. So which one is it? And I'm a little nervous to order from somebody who doesn't know how to label their fish. So yeah, I'm just looking for Cupid cichlids right now because I kind of want to build another South American tank. I have this stunning guy. Look, he just turned to show off his very subtle, very beautiful colors. This used to be my Mbuna tank, and now it's just kind of sitting here, and he's just kind of holding the cycle, 75 gallon. But so that's kind of what I want to do in this corner. Maybe some Waru is the other one I was thinking. Some of the more Satanoperca, what's the rest of that fish's name? I just blanked on it. Some of the more rarer South Americans, that's kind of what I'm thinking for this 6-foot tank whenever I get set up. Maybe not necessarily rare, but less common that you don't see in tanks, because I think like geos, especially redheaded geos, are pretty common. So I'm kind of looking for some very different, very peaceful South Americans for this side of things. So yeah, so these guys will get a new home. I almost put the true parrot in here, but I just recently did a video on this. I talked a little bit about how I don't know if I want to add any more fish to this tank. So Waru, that's, oh no, not Waru, Jurapari, that's what I was trying to say. You had like half of it there. Anyway, it's Jurapari, I just remembered just because you had the J on there. This tank is going to end up empty. This stick right here is going to end up in my discus tank, which has been bare for far too long. And all of these fish are going to end up, and I'll show you where in a second, in with all my rainbow fish. So they're going to end up in a rainbow fish tank, with the exception of the, I believe, where are they? The gouramis are going to go down there with the barbs. Anyway, we'll see. When you have this many fish, you just kind of, when you move them, you make a decision. It comes a long way from when you start fish keeping and you've got 100 plans and you look up every single fish, and then sometimes you're just like, let's see if this works, and we'll move it around if it doesn't. This tank's kind of dirty right now, but I did get this toadstool leather coral, which is pretty awesome. And there's 4 fish in this tank. There's some clowns are always out, but there's a couple other royal grandma and a goby. What is that called, that goby? Anyway, this one needs some cleaning up, but I do like that coral, and it's doing very well. It's growing, despite the fact that that's kind of a cheap light. But so that stick structure I'm going to put in this discus tank right here, just because I really did this to just grow them out, and they're getting pretty darn big, and I'm kind of tired of looking at just a bare tank. So we're going to give this some texture and some character, so that's going to be fun. So I'm excited for that. I may move the angels from down there up. I can't decide when to do that. And this one under the TV right now is the Tanganyikan, is one of my Tanganyikas, and it's going to become the rainbow tank. So I'm super excited to just watch the rainbows under the TV. Going to bring over a lot of those Amazon swords that I have all over the place. I'm trying to decide whether or not, I had a group of Amazon puffers that I bought 7. One of them died pretty quickly. 6 of them lived for quite a while. And then just recently 2 of them died. I don't exactly know why. I mean, it could have been anything, but I'm hoping it wasn't, because they grow teeth out. So I'm hoping I didn't fail to trim their teeth, but they didn't seem like they were that big, and they were eating snails. So not sure what happened there, but I have 4 Amazon puffers. So either I need to come up with a different tank and grow their group, or I might add them in with my rainbows. They seem to do well with faster fish. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, this tank will become the rainbow fish tank, planted rainbow fish tank. I'm gonna have a dirt substrate with a sand cap, and that's gonna be super cool. So the last thing that I wanted to show you is that, first off, I have these guards over the lights that help with filming, but unfortunately that one fell off, so sorry I didn't fix that Sorry you got the glare there, but this tank, I have been for a long time just debating on what to do with it, and I think I've got it exactly where I want it. Now, it's a little bit of a fish soup, because sometimes with Tanganyikans, less is better. I feel like they look better, like that last tank I just showed you. I feel like they look better in smaller groups, but to be honest, not all of them have bred in this tank, but I didn't buy all of these fish. Let's just put it that way. A lot of the daffodils were born in this tank or in the tank they came from. The Leilupi came from this tank. There's some Julidochromis where I started with 3 and I have probably 7 or 8. So, if they're a fish soup, it's their own fault. So it's really awesome. Sometimes it's not easy to get Tanganyikans to do that, but they will sometimes breed in community and protect enough of their young to be able to survive to where you get this. And I don't mind it because it feels pretty natural. I did recently add, and I feel like this is what completed the tank for me, these Treticephalus here, which just, I feel like completed the color palette. It just, before that, it was a lot of yellow and gray. And when I added them, I was like, oh, yep, it's done. And not only that, but I changed the rock structure around a bit. This is 210 gallons. But now I think it's just exactly what I had envisioned. There was a little period there where I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to maybe rehome some fish and tear it apart and do something different, because it's 210 gallons. So that's a lot of gallonage, especially because these fish are not very big. So, you could put some pretty cool fish in here. So it was kind of a risk, I felt like, setting up 210 gallons for my Tanganyikans, but I think it's paid off. The only thing that I know I'm probably going to change in the future are these Cyathopharynx foyer. Cyatho or cyclo? Cyatho, I got it right. Cyathopharynx foyer, there's 4 of them. And they are probably the most beautiful, the most stunning fish you will ever see when they are in breeding colors. If you look up a picture of them, they are amazing. They literally, there's no fish that matches them for color. Just so cool looking. But I don't think they're going to do that in this tank, because they're not going to be able to breed. Unlike the other ones that are all rock dwellers that can lay eggs in these rocks, they make large sand pits. They have a name. They're called, starts with a B, I can't remember. But anyway, so they kind of need to be in a species-only tank. I'm not sure if I have the right... I mean, Tanganyikans take so long to grow out, and these things are about 2.5 years old, and they take till about... Hey, Jody, what's up? That's awesome. They take till they're about 3 years to be full sexual maturity. So I don't know. I think they're going to come out of here eventually, and they might get their own tank, because I need to see what that looks like, because I've seen videos of it, but it is just so stunning. They may be pretty close. So I may find a way to give them a tank. Maybe they'll get that 75. That might be a little too small, though. I'm not really sure. I may move some fish around. That other Tanganyikan tank that I showed you a second ago, this one down here, it's not very well populated, so maybe these guys can go in the 75 and those guys can get the 5-foot tank. But we'll see how that goes. They're a pretty incredible fish. So yeah, this tank is really kind of coming into its own, and sounds good, Jody. That's awesome. I saw you got some electric blue acaras and they're breeding, so now you don't have to envy mine, which there they are, by the way. So anyway, so this is looking pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about this. So anyway, yeah, those are all the let me turn this back around. Those are all the changes that are coming soon, probably over the next couple weeks, especially since I don't have to do my flying fish harvest, my honeybee harvest. Jody wasn't here for that one, but just have to go back and listen to it. But anyway, so then I don't have to do as much of my honey harvest as I usually have to do every year, because that usually takes up like 2 months of my time. No, that's too bad. I usually just scoop them out of the tank, the electric blue cars, because they'll breed in that tank, and I have to scoop them out. They do seem to breed best in community tanks. That's how I've had them breed in the past. So my best hatch that I got from them, where I got like 200 babies, I had them in a community tank, and they bred, and that was my first one. I bought them online, and they sent them to me, and I thought I was getting babies, and they came, and they were like that big. And then I only bought 2 of them, and somehow I got a pair. And they're 230 community. Yeah, yeah, they're not going to be able to get away with their babies in there. But yeah, I had them in a community tank, and it was just a quarantine tank. It was a 20-gallon, and I thought I was getting little babies, and they bred in there and then tried to kill everything. So I got all the other fish out. That was actually the beginning of the multiple tank syndrome, and it was my wife's fault because I was like, well, I just got to get rid of the babies because the fish are trying to kill everything. So let's do that. And she's like, you can't get rid of the babies. So I went out at like 8 o'clock at night and bought a 10-gallon tank to move the other fish into, and that was the beginning of it. So anytime my wife complains about, well, she never complains about this, but if she ever did, I would just remind her that it was her fault. So, but anyway, yeah, electric blue acaras, they're a gateway fish. I don't remember what I was saying, but anyway, some cool channel stuff that also I guess I'll share is that I have memberships now, which is cool. I do kind of want to do more videos like this, but they don't really fit in with all my other themes. I kind of have gotten a lot more philosophical lately. I've really enjoyed that part of it. They're just different videos that I didn't think that I would make, but they're just something a little more special to me. The video I put out about depression and anxiety, and also just the one about burnout and things like that. I wrote a whole thing today that I'm super excited about, the future video. Just a really cool topic. But yeah, so some of these like fish room tour videos. Nice. Which Tanganyikans did you get? Wrens. I don't recognize that name. Yeah, I kind of want to do some more videos like this, but I might keep it to like a members thing for people that are interested in this stuff. I don't know if everybody is, but also I don't really want to limit people, and I didn't really get into this to make money, so I'm not really interested. Oh, Calypterus. Oh my gosh, I want that one so bad. Vitatus, I've seen that one, and I don't know anything about it, but Calypterus has been on my wish list for a very long time. And actually, I was thinking of pulling the trigger on that soon. 2 of the Calypterus. Nice. That's cool. I don't know what that green thing means. Is that a super chat? Thank you, Jody. But yeah, I didn't really I just did this and I don't really want to make money off of people. I go back and forth all the time on what I want to do with the channel, because I get really frustrated because there's some channels that I watch for a long time when they're small, and then they get big and they just kind of like sell out. And there was one that I watched for so long until one day I saw them do something that was 100% motivated by a sponsorship and not good fish keeping advice. And I was like, that is ridiculous, and I will never do that. So I don't really know what I want to do with the channel. Honestly, I don't want it to be like a sellout, and don't really want to make money off of people. I just enjoy it. So I did sign up for the membership thing, but I don't really want everyone to run out and do it unless you want to. And I'm going to come up with some stuff that I can do for it, which will be fun. But mostly I just want it to be something valuable for people. The only other thing that I have that I thought about is that when I started doing this, my wife told me to get a good camera, which I did. And, oh wow, that's cool. 11. I haven't even seen that. I'm not even paying attention. My wife told me to go out and get a nice camera and to do videos, and I did. And the video quality, I mean, you could probably find the video where I bought the camera. Actually, I think it was my last full fish room tour video that I bought a nice camera, and it just looks so much better ever since I did that. But I also started taking pictures of the fish, and got some really cool pictures, and then started getting to the photography. So I was thinking of doing something like that with the member channel, like maybe sending out pictures, because I found a cool service where I can order those. I'm throwing around a lot of different ideas, but what it comes down to is that I just don't want to be pouring chemicals into my tank that are absolutely unnecessary just because somebody paid me to do it. So that frustrates me. You know, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, but if you have 50 subscribers, you'll get emails from certain companies. It doesn't take much before they'll send you stuff. And I already told them all no, because I'm like, some people can do that, but I don't know. I'm not interested in selling stuff. So not a very good salesman. I'm not very good at, like I've told people before, it's like if I wanted to make money, I probably wouldn't have bought all this stuff. I would have, I don't know, bought stocks or something like that. So anyway, I'm getting to the point where I'm just rambling. This was my first/second live stream. Like I said, the first one, the camera was the wrong way, and I accidentally filmed all of my license plates and went, yeah, maybe I'll just delete that one and try again. So, but that's all the stuff that's coming. I'm super excited, and yeah, you'll probably get emails, Jody. I think it was about, I want to say about 70. I don't even think I had 100 subscribers. Maybe it was when I got 100. And it surprised me. I was like, you want to send me free stuff? And I told them no. At first I went back and forth and said, maybe if I can just be honest. But then I ultimately decided, I was like, that's not why I'm doing this. And, you know, for a $50 light, I don't know. That didn't seem worth it to me. So, yeah, you might here soon. You'll see. But if anybody wants free lights, just make a YouTube channel, throw some videos up, and it doesn't take that. I mean, I guess 100 subscribers is it does take some work. YouTube in general is a lot of work. I am really surprised with how much work this takes, and then the skills with the editing and figuring out the right software and the dang audio, which I just realized a few minutes ago that I didn't even put my microphone on. So hopefully you guys can hear well enough. But yeah, audio editing, the number of videos, the ideas, not to mention the thing that's been on my mind lately is just how many people out there just, you know, have a lot of videos of just looking at their tanks, and I think those are great. But yeah, editing skills is probably the hardest thing that for me. I started using CapCut. That was the software that changed it for me. All of the softwares work pretty, any software or app on your phone or computer, they work very similarly, but I don't know, some of them are just a little better. And then CapCut has some like AI stuff where, not necessarily AI, but that you can clean up audio a lot better. But all of it takes time. I still haven't gotten perfect at it. I have, I think 3 or 4 brother-in-laws who do video editing and things for a living. That's their job. And I am always asking them for feedback. One of them is a full-time Instagram influencer with, I didn't even know, he has like 1 million followers or something like that. So yeah, he wasn't really the inspiration for this, but I did kind of think, well, I mean, maybe, I don't know if I want to get that big. I still want to go out in public. I did have, well, I mean, I think I already said this in a video. I did have one place that I went where somebody recognized me, and that was kind of strange. I mean, it was cool, but it was also like, well, that's an interesting feeling. So, but anyway, so we'll see what I do with the membership stuff. But I will have videos on all of this. I'm going to include them in some videos rather than just pointing it at the tank and showing me setting it up. I've got some ideas on just stuff that I want to talk about. So yeah, anyway, yeah, 6 of you guys here. That's pretty awesome. So I might do more of these in the future. We'll see. Mostly I got lucky today. I have 4 kids. I've had them in the videos, so they're often running around and making a lot of noise. So today I just happened to get off work early and they were already gone, and I had about an hour. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do this real quick. So Philippines, that's awesome. Cool. Man, I want to come visit you. I would love to do a big trip like that. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you for those of you that tuned in today. Super fun. And yeah, I'll see you next time. And for those of you that catch the rewatch, thanks for watching the whole thing. So I guess the only thing left to say is wish list out. I don't know how to turn it off.